Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn. My name's Paul, and I've just got back from the Eurogamer exhibition, better known as EGX, here in the UK. And here are my thoughts from hands-on play of 4 of the biggest releases in the next couple of months on the Nintendo Switch, including one game that's flipped my expectations, taken my hype level from 0 to 100. So EGX is a massive gaming festival held over 4 days and will be attended this year by near 100,000 gamers, and I went along with pretty much the single goal of covering Nintendo Switch content. I got early access entry with my content creator pass, and this thankfully meant the queues weren't as bad as later in the day, but even so it still meant about 90% standing around and 10% hands on the good stuff. But it was totally worth it to get stuck into some of the biggest games coming to the Switch in the coming months. My first port of call was the Ring Fit Adventure stand, a new home fitness game that has a new peripheral to add to our plastic collection. This time it's a Pilates ring, which apparently has been a thing for a while, but Nintendo's version allows for a single Joy-Con to be attached to it, which allows you to control a character in this RPG style adventure. Now I've been very sceptical of this, having picked up most of Nintendo's previous gimmicks over the years. Oh hi Labo VR, but maybe it was just the bright lights of the event or the fact I don't have to worry about storing the steering wheel sized ring with my other plastic junk at home, but Ring Fit Adventure was actually really fun. The ring is accompanied by a thigh strap that holds your other Joy-Con and registers your leg movements for exercises such as running and squats. The actual gameplay part is mostly on rails as you run up and down on the spot, making your character run on the screen, and you even have to lift your knees up extra high to get up and down staircases. It's very clever at picking up these subtle movements. During the running sections you can twist left and right and squeeze the ring to shoot a puff of energy to destroy objects you go past or take down baddies. Point the ring down and squeeze allows you to jump. Eventually you'll arrive at a static section, which can be a one-on-one turn-based fight versus an enemy or a mini-game you need to complete to progress the story. The fights are very much like most traditional RPGs, but you'll be performing yoga or Pilates moves to carry out your attacking and defending, and the intensity of your movement will power up what you can do. It's a very cool system and really doesn't take too long before your thighs are screaming and the sweat is pooling on your brow. At the end of each section you're awarded XP and can level up your character and moves, and the whole game part of this disguised exercise workout is really impressive. This wasn't a game I was particularly into, but I think I'd definitely consider it now, especially as I can see the whole family playing it. If I do grab it, of course I'll post more thoughts on the channel as and when. Now I was able to catch my breath during the next long queuing session for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Right off the bat here I have to say I'm not the world's biggest Pokemon fan, and my first real play of any of the games was with Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch, which I know wasn't even a mainline Pokemon game. I've tried these games before, but to be honest my hot take is I don't know what all the fuss is about, so even so I wanted to try this one out so I could bring you my thoughts. And yeah, I wasn't that surprised with what I played, to be honest. Sure, it looks quite nice on the Switch, although I found the overworld a little bit sparse in terms of stuff that was going on. The water gym that I played was a tad tedious in terms of its puzzles, using the term lightly there, and the early battles I got to play did little to sell me on the gameplay, with most attacks proving super effective, so I saw little, if any, strategy. I don't know, if you're a massive Pokemon fan going in, then you know what to expect really. It's more of the same from what I heard from the reps and other people I spoke to that were playing it, so that's either going to be good or bad, depending on your love of Pokemon, I guess. Now before I get to my pick of the show, I did manage to grab a quick play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. It's been interesting to see with the content I've been putting out on the channel about the official Olympics game from Sega, which offers a slightly more realistic take on the featured sports and is due for release in 2020. A lot of people still ask about the Mario and Sonic game, which is coming to the Switch in early November. During my hands-on of this, I got to play in the archery and hurdle events, and both were quite fun. But I do find these motion control games aren't really my favourite genre, and I know I'd probably drop the game after the novelty has passed after a couple of days. Archery in particular though was really enjoyable, using a classic control scheme reminiscent of a Wiimote and nunchuck from back in the day. I think fans of motion control games like this though are going to have a field day, and I expect this to sell very well. It's bright, colourful, controls really well and has a ton of events in it, which I'm sure will vary in degrees of fun, but still there should be something here for everyone. So the last major game I got to play on the Switch was maybe the one I was looking forward to the least, and that is Luigis Mansion 3. Luigis Mansion isn't a series I've played particularly a lot of. I had the second release on the 3DS and yeah, it was okay for a while, but isn't something I've missed since I've long passed on my handheld to my daughter. But from what I've played of Mansion 3, I'd say it's hugely improved and has a surprising amount of depth. My hands-on started off with a brief tutorial of how to stun and capture ghosts, which involves a surprising number of steps and a combination of button presses. The system on the whole reminded me of Ghostbusters in its setup, with the need to stun a spectre, then get it in your vacuum suction, which is effectively the proton pack beam from the 80s film. Then you can slam the ghost into the ground to tire it out before sucking it into your trap. The graphics, when witnessed in first person, are genuinely stunning and reminded me of the colourful worlds of Super Mario Odyssey. There's just a ton of character oozing from every pixel on the screen, and Luigi of course is a brilliantly emotive character with his scaredy-cat nature sometimes giving way to a determined toughness, but whatever the lesser Mario Brothers mood, you feel every second of his time in this action-adventure. The introduction of the spirit form of Luigi, Goo-Luigi, or Gooigi, will make for some nice puzzle solutions too as you work your way through the game. My time on this was limited unfortunately, and I played 10 minutes or so using a Switch Lite, which by the way was my first try of the new console, and I pretty much fell in love with it. I still don't think it's a console for me personally given my own usage, but it is a lovely bit of kit, and Luigi's Mansion felt great on the smaller screen as well as on the bigger TV. This was the game I had pretty much no interest in getting going into the weekend, and I've come away very much looking forward to Halloween when it drops on the eShop. So there you go, that was my EGX 2019. I'd really recommend it as an event if you can get along to it next year. The arena is vast, and as much Switch stuff as there was, it was still just a tiny fraction of the event overall. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions about the event at all or any of the games that I've played, please do let me know. But until next time, I'll see you again soon. Thanks everyone, bye bye.